Every morning carries a quiet power that most people overlook, a gentle opportunity to shape the entire course of their day before the world even speaks to them. When you open your eyes, you step into a moment that is untouched, uncorrupted, and completely fresh. And in that moment, the thoughts you choose become the architects of your reality. Your mind is the first place where your day begins, not your schedule, not your responsibilities, not even the people around you. The very first ideas that you allow into your consciousness form a vibration that travels with you, guiding your decisions, your behavior, your attitude, and eventually your results. This is why the most successful and grounded people in the world guard their mornings with extraordinary care. They understand that the tone of the day is established long before they step into meetings, conversations, or challenges. They know that the internal environment must be arranged with intention before the external world begins to demand anything from them. When you tell yourself something the moment you wake up, you are not just speaking words, you are planting seeds. Those seeds take root in your subconscious mind, the quiet, powerful engine that influences your confidence, your choices, and your emotional state throughout the day. If your first thoughts are fearful, heavy, or uncertain, you start the day at a disadvantage because your mind begins searching for things that reinforce that energy. But if your first thoughts are empowering, clear, and intentional, you create a mental environment that supports your growth, your goals, and your inner peace. The mind is incredibly obedient. It follows the direction you give it. It will look for evidence of whatever you choose to believe in those early moments. Because of that, the initial tone of your morning becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. People underestimate how powerful those first few minutes are. They rush into their phones, their messages, their worries, and without realizing it, they hand the steering wheel of their day to external noise. But when you take charge of your morning thoughts, you claim authority over your state of mind. You remind yourself that you are the creator of your experience, not a passive responder to whatever shows up. That is why morning affirmations, declarations, and intentional self-talk are not just motivational concepts, they are mental tools. They interrupt old patterns, replace them with clarity, and direct your mind toward the kind of life you want to build. When you wake up and declare strength, your mind begins looking for evidence of strength. When you declare purpose, your mind sorts through distractions and highlights the opportunities that align with that purpose. When you speak confidence, your actions naturally begin to reflect confidence because you've prepared your inner world to support it. The morning is also the moment when the subconscious mind is the most open, the most receptive, and the easiest to influence. Before the noise of the day arrives, your mind is still operating in a calm, almost meditative rhythm. In that state, whatever you impress upon it sinks deeper, faster, and more permanently. That is why repeating positive ideas in the morning feels different from repeating them later in the day. You're speaking directly to the part of yourself that shapes your beliefs, habits, and patterns. You are programming the software of your mind before the world installs its distractions and demands. And whatever is installed first often dominates everything that comes after. Your morning thoughts also build your emotional momentum. Emotion is energy in motion. And the energy you carry into the day determines how you respond to problems, how you handle pressure, and how you interpret the situations you encounter. If your morning thoughts are frantic, scattered, or negative, that energy moves with you and intensifies throughout the day. But if your morning thoughts are calm, grateful, empowered, or intentional, that energy becomes the foundation from which you deal with everything that comes your way. A focused morning thought is like setting the compass of your soul. No matter what storms appear later, you know your direction. This is why you must treat your morning like a sacred moment. It's the meeting between your present self and your future self. It's the place where you choose the lens through which you will see opportunities, challenges, people, and possibilities. You may not control everything that happens in a day, but you absolutely control that, meaning you give to it. And that meaning begins with the thoughts you choose first. When you become aware of how deeply your morning shapes your reality, you begin to approach it with a new level of respect. You begin to see that your day is not something that happens to you. It is something you actively design from the inside out. You become what you consistently tell yourself because your mind is always listening, always absorbing, and always creating patterns out of the thoughts you repeat. Every statement you make to yourself, whether spoken out loud or silently, becomes part of the internal script that guides your behavior and shapes your expectations. People often think their life is shaped by circumstances, by luck, or by what others have said about them. But the truth is that nothing influences your destiny more than your own inner dialogue. The words you feed your mind every day become the instructions your subconscious uses to build your reality. If you keep telling yourself that you are capable, your mind begins to search for ways to prove that capability. If you keep telling yourself that you are helpless or stuck, your mind will find evidence to support that story. In this way, your self-talk becomes a self-fulfilling cycle, crafting the world you walk into each day. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. It accepts whatever you repeatedly tell it, and then it works tirelessly to bring those ideas to life. This is why people who speak negatively about themselves often experience more negativity. They're instructing their mind to produce more of what they fear. On the other hand, people who deliberately choose empowering self-talk notice that life begins to align with confidence, clarity, and strength. It's not magic, it's mental programming. Your thoughts create your beliefs create your actions create your habits, and your habits create your outcome. It all starts with the messages you allow to play in your mind. When those messages are intentional, uplifting, and aligned with where you want to go, you naturally begin moving in the direction of growth. You don't even have to force it. Your mind will guide you there. Most people never question the things they tell themselves. They accept their inner dialogue as truth when, in reality, much of it comes from past experience, old fears, or other people's opinions that were never meant to define them. This is why repeating positive morning statements is so powerful. It helps you interrupt old mental patterns and install new ones that support who you want to become. When you wake up and repeat a thought long enough, your mind begins to recognize it as your identity. Identity is the most powerful force in human behavior. You will always act in alignment with who you believe you are. If you believe you're disciplined, you behave with discipline. If you believe you're unworthy, you act in ways that reinforce that belief. By choosing new thoughts, especially in the morning, you're gradually rewriting the identity that controls how you move through the world. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your programming. Your self-talk is the programming. People wonder why they can't change their habits, why they lose motivation, why they fall back into old cycles. But the real reason is that their self-talk contradicts their goals. They want success, but they keep telling themselves they're not good enough. They want confidence, but their inner voice constantly focuses on flaws. They want peace, but their mind repeats stories of fear and doubt. Transformation doesn't begin with action. It begins with dialogue. When you change what you consistently tell yourself, the actions begin to shift automatically. Your inner world becomes aligned with the life you want to build. Even the most confident people in the world weren't born with confidence, they cultivated it by feeding their mind thoughts that matched the person they wanted to become. They spoke power even when they didn't feel powerful. They affirmed strength even when they felt weak. They repeated possibility even when their life didn't yet reflect it. This consistent self-talk gradually rewired their subconscious, changed their expectations, and elevated their energy. Eventually, the outer reality caught up with the inner identity. That is how real growth happens. It starts silently, with repeated thoughts that sculpt your beliefs one morning at a time. The beauty of self-talk is that you can change it at any moment. You can wake up tomorrow and begin installing new ideas, new beliefs, and new expectations. Your mind will not resist. It will follow whatever you repeat with conviction and consistency. The more intentional you are with your morning thoughts, the faster your subconscious adjusts to this new identity. You become the author of your inner script instead of allowing old, automatic thoughts to control your life. This is why every morning gives you the chance to shape the person you're becoming. Before the world interacts with you, you get to interact with yourself, and what you say in those moments lays the foundation for everything that follows. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can bring into your morning because it immediately shifts your energy and changes the way your mind interprets everything around you. When you begin your day with a mindset of gratitude, you are telling your subconscious that life is abundant, that opportunities exist, and that you are capable of receiving and recognizing them. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you for what you already have. It is about consciously aligning yourself with a frequency of abundance and possibility, about acknowledging the unseen potential in the day ahead. Most people wake up and immediately focus on what is lacking, what is stressful, or what must be done. And in doing so, they start their day in a state of tension and limitation. Gratitude interrupts that pattern because it redirects your attention from scarcity to sufficiency, from fear to faith, from worry to wonder. When you practice gratitude in the morning, you are essentially priming your mind to notice more reasons to be grateful. It acts like a lens that colors your perception, highlighting what is supportive, helpful, and abundant, while minimizing the focus on obstacles. Your brain is designed to confirm what you believe, and gratitude strengthens that. Belief that your life is full, your path is clear, and your actions matter. The simple act of listing even a few things you are grateful for upon waking can dramatically change your mood, your interactions, and your decisions for the rest of the day. The power of this practice lies in its ability to activate your higher faculties, such as clarity, creativity, and resilience. Because when your mind is filled with appreciation, it is less distracted by negative thoughts, doubts, and fears. Gratitude also has a direct effect on your emotional state, which in turn affects your energy, focus, and productivity. Emotions are energy in motion. And when you start your day with feelings of thankfulness, you generate positive energy that flows naturally into your actions. This energy is magnetic. It draws experiences, people, and opportunities toward you that are aligned with that positive frequency. The more you focus on gratitude, the more your mind searches for evidence to support it, and this process reinforces your sense of control, your sense of worth, and your sense of possibility. By consciously choosing gratitude, you create a momentum that carries you through challenges with calmness, problem-solving ability, and optimism rather than anxiety, stress, or frustration. Furthermore, gratitude strengthens your connection with yourself and with the world around you. It fosters awareness of the present moment, reminding you that life is happening right now and that there is always something to appreciate. In a world that constantly pushes you to compare, compete, and achieve, taking time in the morning to recognize what is already working in your life provides perspective and balance. It trains your mind to see the good alongside the challenges, to notice the lessons in difficulties, and to celebrate the small victories that might otherwise go unnoticed. This practice is not just a mental exercise, it is a transformational habit that rewires your neural pathways, encouraging optimism, creativity, and problem solving at the subconscious level. Gratitude also influences the decisions you make throughout your day. When you are in a state of appreciation, you are more likely to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. You make choices from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, from a sense of strength rather than weakness, and from the knowledge that you have value to give rather than deficits to fix. Morning gratitude sets a standard for your internal dialogue, ensuring that even when challenges arise, you approach them with awareness of what is working, what is possible, and what can be leveraged. It allows you to navigate the day with a sense of stability, confidence, and purposeful energy because your mind is grounded in recognition of the positive forces already present in your life. The act of gratitude is also a profound reminder of your power to shape your own perception and your reality. No matter what external circumstances exist, you can choose what you focus on and what you allow to dominate your thoughts. Gratitude teaches you that even small things, a breath of fresh air, a supportive relationship, a simple task completed can have enormous impact when acknowledged consciously. This mindset prevents you from taking life for granted, keeps you aware of opportunities that others overlook, and strengthens your capacity to act with clarity, intention, and resilience. The morning becomes a sacred time, a moment when you deliberately cultivate the energy that will flow through every hour, influencing not just your day, but the trajectory of your life in profound ways. What you believe about yourself has more power than anything else because it forms the foundation upon which every thought, action, and decision is built. Your self-identity is not shaped by what other people think of you, by your past failures, or by the circumstances that surround you. It is shaped by the beliefs you consistently hold about who you are, what you deserve, and what you are capable of achieving. Every person carries an internal narrative that governs their confidence, their decisions, and the results they get in life. Some of these beliefs are empowering, and some are limiting, but all of them shape the way you engage with the world. If you believe that you are capable, strong, and resourceful, you naturally take actions that align with those beliefs. You take risks, you persevere, and you pursue opportunities with focus and clarity. On the other hand, if you believe you are limited, unworthy, or unprepared, you unconsciously make decisions that confirm those beliefs. This is why changing your self-identity is the most transformative work you can do. Because once your internal perception shifts, your external reality will fall. Your self-identity acts as a lens through which you see every experience. It filters reality, allowing some opportunities, ideas, and possibilities to pass through while rejecting others that seem inconsistent with who you think you are. If your self-concept is small, you interpret challenges as obstacles, setbacks as failures, and opportunities as threats. But when your self-concept is strong, aligned with the highest version of yourself, challenges become lessons, setbacks become stepping stones, and opportunities become invitations to grow. This is why morning self-declarations are so powerful. They allow you to consciously shape the lens through which you perceive everything. When you wake up and tell yourself who you are and who you are becoming, you are reinforcing an identity that your subconscious begins to accept as truth. Over time, your actions, habits, and results become natural expressions of this new identity. Belief in yourself is not something you are born with, it is something you cultivate. It is built through consistent repetition of thoughts, behaviors, and attitudes that reinforce the person you want to be. Every time you act in alignment with your desired identity, no matter how small the action, you are strengthening the neural pathways that make that identity automatic. This is why the way you start your morning matters so profoundly. The first thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the intentions you set are planting seeds for the day ahead. When you begin with self-affirming statements, you are essentially telling your brain, this is who I am. This is what I am capable of. Your mind receives the message and begins to search for evidence to confirm it, which in turn influences your decisions and your outcomes. The cycle of belief, action, and result begins to reinforce itself, building momentum toward the life you are choosing to create. Self-identity also determines your level of resilience. Life will inevitably present challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but the way you respond to them is entirely determined by who you believe you are. Someone who sees themselves as resourceful and capable will approach problems with solutions in mind. They will persevere through difficulty, maintain focus on the long-term goal, and continue taking steps forward even when progress seems slow. Someone with a fragile self-identity, on the other hand, may crumble at the first sign of resistance, lose confidence, and abandon efforts prematurely. Strengthening your self-identity does not eliminate obstacles, but it gives you the internal framework to navigate them with courage, clarity, and determination. It makes you less reactive and more proactive, less dependent on external validation, and more aligned with your inner power. The beliefs you hold about yourself also shape the expectations others have of you, often without them even realizing it. People respond to the energy you carry, the confidence you project, and the way you act in alignment with your self-identity. If you operate from a place of strength and clarity about who you are, you naturally command respect, attention, and cooperation from others. If you operate from doubt, insecurity, or self-limitation, you inadvertently invite people to treat you in ways that reflect the internal belief. Your self-identity is a magnet. It attracts experiences, relationships, and opportunities that match your internal state. This is why investing time in developing a strong, empowered self-concept is not a luxury. It is the very foundation of creating a life that reflects your highest potential. Building a powerful self-identity is not about pretending to be someone you are not or ignoring your weaknesses. It is about intentionally choosing to define yourself by the qualities, abilities, and values you want to cultivate. Every morning, when you affirm who you are and who you are becoming, you are consciously steering your life toward that reality. Your thoughts, words, and actions begin to align with this vision, creating harmony between your inner world and your external results. Over time, what was once aspirational becomes automatic, natural, and effortless, because your self-identity has evolved to match the life you desire. Each morning presents an opportunity to take control of your life through discipline and focus, and the energy you bring into those first moments has the power to create momentum that carries you through the entire day. Discipline is not something reserved for extraordinary people or those with special circumstances. It is a daily choice, a commitment to act intentionally rather than reactively. When you cultivate the habit of starting your day with structure and focus, you are training your mind to prioritize what matters most, to avoid distractions, and to operate from purpose rather than impulse. The truth is that life is full of competing demands, unexpected interruptions, and distractions that pull you away from your highest potential. Without deliberate focus, your energy becomes fragmented, your intentions diluted, and your results inconsistent. Morning discipline ensures that before the world begins making demands on you, you have already taken the wheel and set the direction for your day. Focus is closely tied to discipline because without focus, discipline loses its effectiveness. Focus allows you to channel your energy into the things that truly matter and prevents you from scattering your efforts on trivialities. The way you direct your attention determines the outcomes you achieve. If your attention is scattered, you will experience stress, frustration, and a sense of running in circles. But if your attention is deliberate, consistent, and aligned with your priorities, you create momentum that compounds over time. Momentum is a critical component of success because small, intentional actions performed consistently produce results that accumulate and expand beyond what seems possible in a single day. By starting your morning with focus, you are giving yourself a head start, ensuring that you are not merely reacting to the events of the day, but actively creating them. Discipline and focus in the morning also influence your emotional and mental state, which are essential for productivity and decision making. A disciplined morning routine calms the mind, reduces anxiety, and creates clarity. It allows you to approach challenges with a level-headed perspective rather than reacting impulsively under stress. By intentionally structuring the first part of your day, you are reinforcing the habit of control over your thoughts and actions, which translates into better decisions, stronger relationships, and more effective problem solving. The consistency of disciplined mornings transforms your behavior over time, making high-level performance, perseverance, and resilience almost automatic. This is why people who achieve great results often emphasize the importance of morning routines. It is not about doing extraordinary things. It is about aligning ordinary actions with extraordinary intention. Discipline is also about saying no to distractions and impulses that undermine your progress. Every day presents countless temptations to veer off course, to postpone important tasks, or to invest energy in activities that produce little value. Morning discipline establishes a boundary between what is urgent and what is important, helping you to prioritize tasks that align with your long-term goals rather than momentary desires. Focus strengthens your ability to maintain that boundary. The moment you start your day with clarity about your priorities, your mind becomes a filter, allowing in only what serves your purpose and excluding what does not. This practice gradually rewires your brain to operate efficiently, to recognize opportunities that align with your goals, and to reject distractions that drain your energy and limit your potential. Momentum created by morning discipline and focus extends far beyond productivity. It shapes character. Every morning that you choose to act with intentionality, to concentrate on your objectives, and to control your energy, you reinforce traits such as perseverance, responsibility, and integrity. These qualities, cultivated over time, become the foundation of your personal and professional success. Discipline is not just about completing tasks. It is about building consistency, trust in yourself, and a sense of reliability that others can see and rely on. Focus ensures that this discipline is applied strategically, so your efforts yield meaningful results rather than wasted motion. Together, they create an inner strength that equips you to handle the unpredictability of life with confidence, clarity, and resilience. Ultimately, starting your day with discipline and focus is a declaration of ownership over your life. It is a conscious choice to lead rather than fall, to create rather than react, to invest your energy in what will bring lasting value rather than temporary satisfaction. Each morning provides the chance to set the tone, to establish the standard of excellence for your day, and to create momentum that propels you forward toward your goals. Over time, these small, consistent acts of intentionality compound, shaping not only your daily results, but also your long-term trajectory, your habits, and the very character that defines who you are and what you achieve. No matter what has happened in your past, no matter the mistakes, setbacks, or disappointment you have faced, each morning provides a new opportunity to rewrite the story of your life. Every day is a blank page, and the words you choose to speak to yourself, the intention you set, and the actions you take have the power to shape the trajectory of your future. You are not bound by yesterday's limitations, by the opinions of others, or by the circumstances that seemed insurmountable before. The power to redirect your life begins the moment you open your eyes and decide to take ownership of your thoughts, your focus, your energy. The subconscious mind, which has been programmed by past experiences and repeated beliefs, can be retrained with consistent, intentional declaration. And the morning is the optimal time to begin this work because it sets the tone before external influences and distractions take hold. Every morning, when you choose to speak positive, empowering statements to yourself, you are essentially sending new instructions to your subconscious mind. These instructions override old limitations, break patterns of self-doubt, and instill confidence, clarity, and a sense of purpose. By repeatedly affirming the person you are becoming rather than the person you were, you shift your identity in a way that aligns with your goals and your potential. Your mind begins to accept these declarations as truth, and gradually, your behaviors, choices, and decisions begin to reflect this new reality. This is how transformation occurs, not overnight, but steadily, through consistent reinforcement of new beliefs and perspectives that replace old, limiting ones. The ability to rewrite your life begins with this conscious act of self-direction each morning, before the pressures and challenges of the day attempt to pull you back into old patterns. Redirection of your life also involves letting go of the past with awareness and intentionality. Many people are held back because they carry regrets, guilt, or unresolved emotions from previous experiences. And these feelings weigh heavily on their energy and focus. The morning provides an opportunity to release these burdens, to forgive yourself for mistakes, and to recognize that past experiences do not define your future unless you allow them to. By consciously choosing to start each day with a clean slate, you create the mental and emotional space to pursue new possibilities, take bold action, and step into opportunities that may have seemed out of reach. This release of past limitations is not a denial of reality. It is a declaration of control over how your past will influence your present and your future. The process of rewriting your life each morning also requires clarity of intention. It is not enough to simply wish for a better day or a different life. You must clearly define the mindset, attitudes, and actions that align with the future you desire. When you wake up and set precise intentions, focusing on growth, focus, gratitude, perseverance, and courage, you are creating a framework for the decisions you will make throughout the day. Your subconscious mind responds to this framework by guiding your attention, energy, and actions toward alignment with your chosen path. This clarity ensures that your efforts are directed intentionally rather than scattered, and that every action you take is a step toward the life you are consciously designing. Each morning thus becomes a rehearsal for success, a time to align your inner state with your external goals. Another vital aspect of using the morning to recreate your life is recognizing the compounding effect of consistent action. Change does not happen instantaneously, and transformation is rarely the result of a single thought or declaration. It occurs as a result of small, deliberate steps taken consistently over time. By making the practice of morning affirmations, focus, and intentionality a daily habit, you establish a rhythm that compounds and accelerates your personal growth. Each day builds on the last, strengthening new neural pathways, reinforcing, empowering beliefs, and creating momentum that propels you forward. The discipline of starting each day with this conscious practice ensures that you are gradually but consistently moving away from old limitations and toward the life you desire. Ultimately, the ability to reset, redirect, and recreate your life every morning is a reminder of the incredible power and freedom you possess as an individual. You are not defined by external circumstances or the mistakes of the past. You are defined by the thoughts you cultivate, the actions you take, and the intentions you set in the present moment. Each morning is a sacred opportunity to consciously choose the life you want to live, to guide your mind and heart toward your highest potential, and to take deliberate steps toward becoming the person you aspire to be. This daily practice of resetting, refocusing, and realigning with your true purpose is the foundation for lasting transformation, resilience, and the achievement of extraordinary results.